40 minutes past the hour 10. Well, we have an interesting treat in the building. Tall glass of brown chocolate here. A media sister, as I call her.
Model type of things.
Model type of things. I mean, beauty and brains and a voice as well. I'm talking about the one and only Chuki, who's joining us in the building. She's going to say her highs, and she's also more or less going to tell us more about what's got her thinking after this. You don't want to miss it. Any questions, send them through on Twitter and on Facebook. Use the hashtag Saturdays Loaded. Now, put cabs with a small Azana and Mahu giving us Nomaganjani, taking us 20 minutes past the hour 10. I still have a problem with this song, and I will say it over and over again. The fact that we are entering two spheres in one song. We are in love, and then next thing we're being told that man is not yours, it's borrowed. Borrow me, my sister, because now I see Wako. Hi, Bo. Hello. I know. I'm not understanding. But anyways, 20 minutes past the hour 10. If you just joined us, I will reintroduce her because she needs to be reintroduced in each and every room she steps into.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a tall, dark, luscious media
black
sister.
melanin.
Ooh.
Guys, my view.
I think Pablo is a problem now, but okay. I'm talking about a media sister, and she knows this best in her field, and I always tell her this every single time I get the chance, but I'm going to tell her on air today. The one and only Chuki Dlamini joins us in studio. TV personality of the note and a Personality Media of the Year nominee in last year's SMA Awards.
Ooh.
Chuki, how are you doing, my sister?
I am nervous, guys. How are you doing?
Says the person whose job is to interview strangers.
Nah, but it's so different though when you're on the receiving end.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, if you're gonna come on the show and I'm like, yes, I'm asking you questions and you must answer. But now it's you guys asking me and I'm like, maybe I'm too harsh on the people, man.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Now you've got in the case of your own medicine. Eh?
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Speaking of your own medicine, we have to ask you the simple question. What's got Chuki thinking this entire week?
Yo, guys, my mind is blown. Exams.
Oh.
I've been thinking, I've never thunk like this before. you know, because every day it's a paper. Now I need to balance it with work. How do I schedule?
Yeah.
You know, is this going to come out of the exam? Am I answering correctly? Am I even going to pass? So it's just, I've been thinking, guys. Yo, I'm tired of thinking.
But let's ease you out of that state. Let's get you into the zone of things. You know, broadcasters are not made, they're born, in my definition, because I feel like all of us here were born for what we're doing, including yourself. So let's talk about when in your life did you feel like entertaining or being in front of a crowd is something that you want to do? Because I don't want to believe you already automatically thought TV is where you're going. You know, it could have been MCing, could have been radio, you know, so many things. But what made you, or what gave you that hunch that, you know what, I think talking to people, entertaining people is what I want to do?
Yeah. Okay, Bandila, so let's take it back to 2009.
Okay, throwback. All right, let's go there.
Yeah, just a young throwback. 2009, I was in grade 4 at Bunya Central Primary School.
Okay.
So my English teacher just randomly picked me and she was like, I wrote a poem for you and I want you to deliver. The school had visitors, volunteers.
Okay.
So they were just like, I want you to deliver a poem. She knew that I was shy, but she just picked me. I was nervous. I delivered the poem regardless, and that was a stellar performance, right?
Okay.
And I, you know, the when people were clapping hands and everything, that gave me that zeal. And I was like, you know what? I can do this. It just transpired the spark within me.
Yeah.
So from there onwards, you know, I've been a sharpshooter and still going up.
Then fast forward to high school. How does that also add into more or less the fuel in the fire that, you know what, let's continue this?
And what is it with people enforcing me to do things? Is it not my other English teacher? He literally forced me as well into joining the debate club.
Okay.
I joined the debate club.
This is high school now.
High school now.
Right.
I joined the debate club and I was the first speaker, which meant that I always had to open up the podium and pack topics and everything.
Wow.
Right? So, fire, man. Fire. Bavuka ngaso sonke isikhathi.
Yeah, alright. We're decoding Chuki Demville right on 88.2.
Girl in particular, I think I love this
You
girl
in particular.
So before the break, usichazele kabantu ukuthi how did she become a TV personality? So phinza futhi Pablo ubuta ukuthi ke is Chuki your real name? So the question yami is how often do people assume that it's a nickname or a stage name?
All the time.
All the time.
And it makes me so mad.
Also, I'm not the first one.
You are not the first one.
I honestly, firstly, I'd like to apologize.
Okay, because it's you
But
and you're
actually,
cute.
oh, thank you very much. Did y'all hear that, guys? Did y'all hear that?
No.
So I actually thought when they said Chuki,
Yeah.
every time people do something, they always have that name. Yeah, bo. You remember we had Tera Mo. Yeah, bo. So, Mbadaloguti Chuki. It's just a nickname. Yeah, bo. It's your
Yeah.
TV personality name that you use.
Oh yeah, so I understand when you put it like that, but
Yeah.
Chuki is my real name, guys. I didn't want to nickname yam, but unfortunately I can't. Birth certificate, driver's license, everywhere. Chuki. So Chuki is a Swahili name given to me by my parents. Right, and yeah, I love it. I embrace it all the time. I do have a Swati name, so in the business, I used to refer to myself as Chuki Dlamini. All three of my names, because I just felt like it had that bang to it. But then TV people were just like, take out one. I'm like, yeah, bora. And then obviously I had to remove Dembele because it just doesn't have that thing. Hi guys, you're still saying with Dembele Dlamini. No, man.
I think Chuki sounds nice too.
Yeah,
Wait,
it
so
does.
what does Chuki mean? There's always a thing with names. Like your name has to have a meaning. What does it mean? Because it probably means something beautiful. There's a catch to it.
So I can't exactly say what it means, but when my mom jokes around about it, she always says, when I heard you, when I had you, your father's nickname is Chicken. So I was like, Chicken, Chuki, okay, Chuki for chicken.
And your voice like Chuki.
Yeah, Chuki for chicken. So that is what it means.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm also sitting on that Googling tip. That is going to be our priority right now.
Yeah.
We're going to go on a musical break and we're going to search for what exactly it means. So when we come back, we've got the accurate information that we need. We're still hanging out with Chuki right here on 88.2 UNESCO FM, just coming for all the businesses, like she said off air. Be aware.
Wow, so young Greva, how dare you?
Audition for the intake of presenters. Like, how did it feel?
Yeah.
Did you believe you could do it, or what were your expectations like when you got there? We always have this thing that when you're going to present, what's the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna ask you probably questions about TV. Yeah, but like, how did you feel when you actually got there and you're like, okay, this is my time to shine now?
All right.
Yeah.
So guys, the story is they posted a post and they're like, we're looking for presenters and everything, and plus minus 400 Emaswadi auditioned. Right?
Yo.
Yes. And before I continue, hashtag thank you, Mama, I made it.
Okay.
So then they cut it down to the top 50. When they cut it down to the top 50, that's when we actually had to go in the studio and audition live. But they never told us those logistics. They just said, come through, you need to re-audition. So I went there. And I didn't know what was going on. You just sit in the waiting room. You don't know what else is happening around you.
Idols kind of vibes. Okay.
So 5 minutes before Batong Lanza, this guy says, so you're going to go in there and you're going to audition for 5 shows at the same time in like plus minus 10 minutes. I'm like, what? But see, the shows are impromptu. If you watch Eswatini TV, you should know them. So Tinenja will just play like the songs or the entry videos of the show, and then you shoot.
Okay.
Yo, guys, ngiyafika lapha. Yo, I was so
my nerves are set too.
Yeah, I was so nervous. Those lights, those cameras, those people.
I can imagine.
Yo, it was so busy. I'm just happy that I never froze, right? And they were giving me shows after this, and I should say, whew, that was intense.
Well, I want to touch on base on when regards to the process now with you more or less undergoing the second audition, which is now the on-field one. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about when the call finally comes in and they say, you know what, you've done the auditions, you've got this now. Let's meet up for a meeting and let's talk about the way forward and let's sign that contract. When does that call come through? And who was the first in your family to get the call?
So what happened was, this is almost a funny story. Okay, I'm just chilling. I'm sleeping actually, being in class rep, Gaye 1. So this random number calls me and this lady is like, Ugopi. I'm thinking, okay, her voice sounds like my lecturer's voice. I'm like, I'm in the house, ma'am, saying attentive. She's like, what are you doing in the house? I need you to come here. I'm like, okay, for what? Do we need to submit an assignment? What?
In your head, you're now
like,
thinking.
Yeah, and so
there's an assignment.
yes. And she's like, you're not assignment here, and you're talking to so and so from Eswatini TV, and you're coming for induction. I'm like, oh, okay. That time it doesn't even ring to me what induction is. I know what induction is, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again for another audition. But then when we got there for the induction, that is when everything just really felt so surreal. Like everything kicked in and I'm like, am I really doing this? And at first my main worry was the fact that I'm still in school. So how am I going to balance this? And shout out to Lenga Makwele. I know he's not listening. Shout out to him. You know, he got me through that. He was like, yo, kid, listen, we're going to work around this. You just have to enjoy the moment and make the best out of it. I've never been happy like this. I'm really yummy. I've been happy and stressed, but mostly happy.
And we're going to keep it on the happy note. 20 minutes to the hour 11 right here on 88.2. We're still hanging out with Chuki, right? Right. We're going back to the audition process and getting the call. Now moving forth, let's talk about your on-the-ground level of work. Your first event that you have to cover now with your producers and the camera crew. What would you say were the top 2 flops or moments where you felt like you stumbled and you were like, can we do a retake? Can we do a retake? Which 2 moments would you recall and from which events, if you still remember pretty well?
Alrighty, so the first one has to be my first shoot. MTN, I praise gospel. Yeah, lapo. Yo, guys, I was so nervous. It was just me and the camera guy. I was shaking, like, I'm even mad at him, guys. Ngoba bengiphethe ibhuku ngibhale ema questions.
Okay.
And so I asked him, "Aliveli mos ibhuku lami." I said, "No, I'm just cutting you here." And then only to watch the episode.
And your book is there.
And my notepad is there. So that just has to be the biggest flop. And I was shaking, but that was the first biggest flop. And then the second biggest flop is a recent one, guys, in Mhlume Country Club for the Gold Races. Hi, girl. I don't know, maybe I'm just uncultured kakulu. I don't know. Because there's a lady. So I don't know. Wait, what language do they speak in China? Is it Mandarin or can I call it Chinese?
It's Mandarin.
Mandarin. Yandeni girl. So.
I think we know where we're going. Let's go there.
So I have an interview with her. I say ni hao, I say shishe, and she doesn't respond. Right? So I'm like, what is happening? Because if you're from China, if I say ni hao, you can say ni hao and be happy that I know something. Only to find out after the interview that she is from Korea.
Ooh. Oh, that's a low.
You see that
one?
Oh,
that's the L.
Biggest L.
That should have been number 1.
Yeah, that was
but at least you tried.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, and I'm just happy Guti. She wasn't like, yeah. She just accepted it. So yeah.
Some people actually take that personal. Some people take that personal. They do not want you to.
True.
Hey.
I'm just happy that she just had a calm reaction. She didn't say anything really. Nakona saying from my producer.
Did you get like the interview though?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, guys.
So I wanted to ask that for your nominations of the Personality of the Year Media Edition, where did that set you in terms of your career and recognition? Like, did that like boost you as Chuki. Yabona ukuthi masohamba lapha emadolobheni, hey Chuki. Yabo.
All I can say is people take me seriously now. Yeah, they take my art seriously, and I'm very grateful to the Social Media Awards team. Yeah, man, guys, it's like serious to a point. Even when I rock up at an event, no matter how small it is. I remember this one time with the Melon and I pulled through, and then this guy's like, "Nasek figure choke. I should say event is bill gelen I mean,
young and famous."
Yeah, but yeah, and sometimes it becomes so overwhelming, especially when people recognize me, and because I feel like the experience that I create on television, like Ngwendangati, we are friends. Yes, we are friends, but when you see me, you come with that energy, and not that I don't reciprocate, but at the back of my head, I'm like, do I know you? No, not like that. But then I'm like, and then you say, I always see you on TV. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That is why you're talking to me like that. Yeah.
And then does it ever get overwhelming to the point where relationships have become something that's a bit weird now? Because more or less, if we're being honest, I've had situations where people declined my offer to date because they don't want to date people in the radio space. I don't know what business that is. So do you encounter such things too?
Why though?
I'm not really someone who's into dating media personalities. Have you encountered something like that?
Everybody wants to be with a media personality. If anything, I'm the one declining.
Kudos to you, my sister.
Everybody wants to be with a girl on TV, always looking nice, makeup
True.
done, dresses, the hosting vibe. And it's just that, I just choose not to because you're here for the wrong reasons, my man. You need to know me.
And that's definitely true.
Yeah.
And on who she is indeed. Top 5 questions are about to be asked, and she has to answer brutally as fast as she can.
Yeah, my game.
Not fast, but fast.
Yeah,
What? Not what?
Oh. Okay. First one is favorite meal to eat when sad.
How I interest.
Okay. Go to shopping store for clothes.
H&M.
Ooh. Favorite color?
Blue.
Okay, I'm coming for that orange dress.
Please do, honey.
Utanza gluing.
Please do, because I'm not gonna wear it again.
Okay. Okay, favorite day in the week.
Sunday. Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
First love. Okay.
Asethembu uyalalela.
Ngomphane Nkosi.
Wow.
Mkhunjulwa Mbuso, Dlamini.
Babelong
Babelong Tala.
Hallelujah, Daddy.
Shout out to you, baby.
Bayete father.
Yathi why ngende kanje? Yathi mina ngisho ukuthi
Umuntu. Oh, Pablo, no. We are way too smart for this game. We're way too smart. But before we close, I want to find out how does a day like for relaxation look like for Chuki? Like when she's not doing work, what does she like to do besides school and work?
So that's why I picked Sunday as my favorite day of the week. We have Wokage Chuki, guys. She prepares her Sunday lunch. And then at 10 sharp, she needs to be at church. I really hate being late for church. Guys, don't be late for church. It's bad for you.
Okay.
leyo mzuzu ngagcinani. No kusasamele ngiyesemba.
So ngoba sekuye Chuki Chuki.
No ngathi ngagcina.
I'll take him to a church date.
Your church?
Yeah, church date.
So just sorted.
Church date with Pablo.
Thank you so much, my sister, for coming through and actually hanging out with us and more or less having a conversation. I appreciate this. It's been a long time coming.
Guys, gunini shayelana and nasigma events at abantu yadikthini nendak interview anyalo phela ngoba sinofuna ukudlala studio
and inkhani yakhe nasekanti umsebenzi.
I'm like unamsindo fani akulenza abasta wenda njani phela ngoba ufuni. But all in all, I'm just happy that I'm finally here, guys, and thank you for recognizing the work that I do, and thank you for giving me a voice outside of television. television. And yeah, like I say, guys, coming for your jobs one by one.
Sitakushaya gesisi, one by one. Otherwise, thank you so much, Chuki, for coming through, and good luck and the best of luck to all your future endeavors and whatever field you decide to tap into. We're there supporting you as UNICEF FM, and I'm there supporting you as a big brother. You know that.
Love ya, lads.
Exactly.
And I'm there supporting you as your little sister.
Love ya, lads. Pablo as my...
Guys.
Man, Pablo, man. As your wife, Kubeka Chuki.
As my... No, it was a question as my...
Oh, okay.
As her future man.
Hey, respect the man.
Where are we? Sigu Pilana.